All right. North Node in Sagittarius, South Node in Gemini. Who do you love? Okay. The song just popped in my head. That old LL Cool J song. Because, well, it was with Total. It popped in my mind because I feel like North Node and Sag people are here to learn who they are and what message they want to bring. So a lot of times North Node and Sagittarius people will feel earlier in life they connect too much to a group. When you connect too much to others, because remember, your South Node is Gemini. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Let me write down what I want to talk about. You know I stay with a pen because I don't want to forget what I have to say. Okay, let me explain something. Beginning of every video, because I don't know if you know what a North Node is or South Node, you just clicked on this, whatever. North Node is your spiritual path, your spiritual purpose. It is what you need to do to ascend and to feel the most purpose in your life. It does not mean you become that sign. The South Node is the default. It's what you're comfortable doing in a past life. You don't have to believe in past lives to understand this energy. You don't. But I'm going to talk about it in terms of the way that most astrologers talk about it. The past life, you relied on your South Node. So your North Node sign is always going to be the opposite sign in your South Node. So that is why a Gemini, a South Node in Sag person, a North Node in Sag person has a South Node in Gemini. They are opposite signs. The same with all of the opposite signs of the zodiac. All right. So your North Node is in Sagittarius. So what's going to be important to you is travel, going away from home, being around different situations and scenarios than what you're used to. The South Node in Gemini, Gemini is home to the third house, right? Gemini energy is about your early life, where your neighborhood is, siblings. Third house is comfort. So yes, the third house is social. A lot of times we'll say, oh, you're so social if you have third house placements. But the third house is like in your immediate surroundings. That's why you can have a person with a lot of Gemini energy or third house energy. But when they are outside their horizons, it's a little bit of a different flow going on there. So you are here to explore and experience life and learn your own truth, because Sagittarius is linked to truth, truth seeker. You're here to learn your ideology because you can definitely pass that message on to someone else. But that's going to be unfulfilled, North Node and Sag, if you live within your South Node of Gemini, where you're sticking to the facts. You're sticking to what's in front of you. And yes, you might be curious because, you might be curious about what's around you, but you're not expanding your horizons to new things that you have not experienced before, because Sagittarius is a sign of foreign lands, foreign people, foreign ideas. It's when we become subjective with Sag energy. Inspired, not curious, we're inspired with Sag energy. So North Node in Sagittarius people, what are you inspired by? That is your path. When you are stuck in your comfort zone, you're only learning what you already know. That is going to hinder you a little bit, okay? That you're trying to ascend to your North Node in Sagittarius purpose of broadening your horizons. You've already been stuck. So in a past life, a South Node, a Gemini person, and again, you would look at your houses to see other things too. You probably, stayed the same place your whole life. We're in the same place your whole life. If your South Node is in Gemini, in the past life, you dealt with what was familiar to you. But now you're here to learn what is not familiar to you, because we learn a lot from what we don't know. And if we know, you know what I mean? Don't live in what you already know. Live in what you don't know if you're a North Node and Sagittarius person. Travel, going to different places, learning from other people. It helps you kind of add up what you are. It helps you connect the dots if you're a North Node and Sagittarius person. And if you want to tap into that, do things that are new. Learn another language. When it's safe to go, travel, talk to people from different backgrounds than you. Befriend people from different backgrounds from you. That's going to give you the higher sense of purpose than your South Node in Gemini, because you've already done that. The South Node in Gemini is the objective collection of information, and it's very important. It means you're probably really good at communicating within your group. You're really good at communicating within the people that are in your circle, but you're only living there because it's safe and it's what you know, it's what you're used to, because that's why Gemini energy is connected to neighborhoods. But you need to go to foreign. Now, foreign can be symbolically or literally, you know what I mean? So the North Node and Sagittarius person here has to tap into wisdom, philosophy, not just the facts. So again, when I do these nodes videos, I'm focusing on the positive if I'm talking about the North Node, and I'm focusing on the kind of negative if I'm dealing with the South Node. Just like if I was talking about the positive North Node in Gemini, I would be talking about the positive of Gemini and the concerns with Sagittarius, which I already have a video about the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius. If you want to check, I'll link that right below. So what you want to do is make sure that you are always expanding your horizons. Make sure that you are always testing yourself. Because that's the thing about Sagittarius energy. It's willing to risk take. It's willing to test something out. It's willing to experience. The minute you stop experiencing and you just want to sit with the information and not do anything, that is when you are tapping into your South Node. And you might think you're doing something too, because you're like regurgitating stuff you already know or dealing with people you already know, all of that. But you really need to be going in that North Node in Sagittarius energy, where you are now allowing yourself to feel a little bit out of your comfort zone in order to really understand who you are. You need to be exposed to a lot of different things if you are a North Node Sagittarius person. You need it. It needs to fulfill you. Okay? It might not feel comfortable at first, but you're going to feel more immersed in that than someone else. You're going to feel more immersed in that environment, that new environment, once you do it over and over again and you allow yourself the opportunity to identify and communicate with what is diverse, what is new, what is interesting, what is something you've never seen before, who is someone you never would have talked to, where is someone you never would have gone, right? We have the opposite. We have the subjective. You have to form your own belief systems, not be influenced by your early setting, who's around you. Gemini is mutable. So is Sagittarius is mutable, but Sag is mutable fire, which means we're spreading ideas. You have to learn who you are, what you are, from the collection of all your experiences. And then you're going to know what to message. You're going to know what your truth is. And you're going to be able to speak that truth, because Sagittarius energy is about that truth being out into the atmosphere. Gemini is about information, the facts. And I'm not saying at all that we can't ever use our South Node. I think that's ridiculous to say, especially since we might have, like, if you could be a South Node Gemini and your Mercury's in Gemini. Well, you're going to have to use Mercury, Gemini information, Gemini energy. But we need to be living like and pursuing a purpose and thinking anytime something is off in your life, it's because you're relying on what's familiar. You're going to the advice from the same old person. You're only, relating to those around you. You're only talking to those around you. And you need to go seek out wisdom maybe from someone else. Maybe that's what you're missing. And Sag, North Node Sag people, until you get to that point, find a mentor, find a guide, whatever it is you want to do in your life until you get to that point, because Gemini is going to be, you need to talk to your friends all day long. But if you really want to ascend, who do you trust? Who can guide you until you feel that you're wise? You feel that you understand who you are and you're coming to your own truth, because Sagittarius is linked to philosophy, morals, right? Things of that nature. So if you're feeling stuck and you're like, I don't even know what to do with all this, who's the wise person you go to? Is it a religious figure? Is it a spiritual figure? Is it a family member that's wiser than you, that knows more than you about something? Go to them. Have them help you understand this journey that is life, because Gemini becomes about the information, and Gemini is important. I'm not at all downplaying Gemini. I'm saying this is not a North Node in Gemini video. See what I'm saying? So that's what you need to do if you're a North Node and Sagittarius person. Obviously, the house it's in matters as well. But right now we're just talking about the general energy of it. So thank you so much for watching. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. If you have a comment, question, drop it below. I do respond to my comments and any questions. Also make sure you are following me on Instagram, Amethyst Virgo.